so much stuff floating around. I don't know. People trying to say they wasn't together.
Basically was trying to get into a threesome.
What's going on, ladies and gents? Welcome to another experience known as K and Manny. I am the one they call Manny, and
it's your man Rio in the house, filling in for K this week. It's going down.
Rio, what are you doing?
I kind of interrupted. I kind of interrupted the regularly scheduled program to fill in with Lady K this week. I thought, is that all good? Or,
Wait, hold on. You're filling in for Lady K?
Yeah, I thought, like have a man discussion, man talk this week, filling in for Lady K. You can't be replaced, but I can fill in for a little bit though, right? What's up?
Oh, that's what we're doing?
Give your man a shot. Let's do this.
Oh, let's do this.
I think he has a word for some people that need to hear it. I think there are some ladies that are living in a delusion, right? Where they're thinking, I don't know where they came up, but they think that they are not just a 10, they think they're 20. And really, he let them know that, what the things that you think are so valuable to a lot of these men, one, it's not. Two, it's a lot of y'all that look like this. So you got to come with something deeper than that. So no, just your looks alone and what you think is a 10, no, it's not a 10 if you look at you compared to everybody else, if that's all you want to go by. So no, I think what he's saying, he says a lot of truth. I approve of a lot of things he's saying, but what I think the thing that catches a lot of women where it's hard to hear is whenever things come so direct like that, you know what I mean? Where it's like it's almost breaking your self-esteem, or it crushes the ego. Maybe that's even better. It makes you want to come back and lash out. The man is speaking his mind. I think a lot of things he's saying is real talk, but I think the delivery is what people have the discussion about. That's really all it is. I think maybe if he said it softer, right? How about the man said, baby, you know what? I know you think you're a 10. I know you said you're a 10, but really when I look at it, right, when we really look at everything, it's more like a 6, right? And this is why I say it. I say it because now is that the delivery that you want? I think we're in such a problem right now, fam. You got to give it to him straight. You got to give it to him hard. And you got to shock them. You got to shock them and let them know what the real is. But let me say this though. I did hear a man talk about what 6-figure men want and what they want and what they don't want. Anybody who gives like real blanket advice about all men in all situations is hard to believe because you can only talk for a certain group of men. So I think when you put it out there for all guys, it's all men feel and all that, I think that's where I think that's where a lot of confusion comes in to me, fam.
I agree. Because let's be real. I've never made 6 figures in my life. I don't know what 6 figures look like in my bank account, but I'll be 100%. Everyone has a different opinion on what a high value man, quote unquote, it looks like or acts like. Because the argument I hear is, let's say black women, for example. The argument I hear is, okay, when I want a high value man, in other words, a person with a 6-figure account, lives in a certain neighborhood, drives a certain car, has a certain job, and looks a certain way, they don't go for the black women. They go for the white women, and they go for the exotics. And a lot of black women has that complaint. Now, I'm going to be real. I have no dog in that fight. Because I'm not about to tell y'all what a high value man looks like. I'm still trying to figure that out for myself. Right?
Yeah.
But let's be real. Back to these relationship goals and everything. You would hear people say like, oh, if he's not, if he doesn't buy you a Birkin bag, break up with him. Or if he doesn't, or she doesn't cook, or especially if you throw some macaroni in the pan and throw some American cheese on top, break up with that person. Now, I've seen someone do that, and I never ate at that person's house ever again because you don't just throw American cheese on mac and cheese,
It's
man.
not a sin. You should repent for that. I don't know. Why would you do that? I don't get that.
Ladies, don't ever do that. again, please.
I'm done.
On the more important stuff, let's talk about something here. Like when you hear people who gives advice, especially the fact that we just talked about Derrick Jackson and the minions that still follow him, and Kevin Samuels and his brash delivery. Do you feel that people need to go to more people who are successful in marriage as far as how to be in a relationship? Like, for example, you and your wife, y'all have a platform that talk about power mates, hence the background back there. And y'all pretty much say, hey, this is what we did. Y'all may want to try this. Or here's what we thought about this, but here's our true opinions on it. Because we've been there before. What do you say about, like, for instance, how do you feel when a lot of these people go to these quote unquote celebrities? They look at what they do, they think that's what they deserve, but it's unrealistic. Versus people who have been there, such as yourself, my parents, and who've been in the trenches for well over, we'll say, I don't know, I mean, you say you've been married for 2 years?
Oh no, me and Mika been married for 2 now.
2 years. And say my parents they're coming up this year 43 years.
Wow.
Right?
Yeah.
So what do you say to people who looks at celebrities as couple goals versus people who've been in the trenches and know what it takes?
That's a good question, though. That's a real good question. I think that the real deal is there's a value in being in like concert with people that are actually doing it and that are finding success at it, and they don't think that their way is the only way. Because what happens is when you watch somebody from the outside looking in, the same way we watch TV and try to pattern relationships off of that, then you're just really having to fill in spaces that you don't get to see. You don't know what led to the Birkin. You don't know what led to the house. You don't know what led to this. You don't know the behind the scenes. So now you're really guessing at it. And a lot of times when we're guessing at, a lot of people are guessing at relationships and we don't find any good ones. I was fortunate enough to have real good examples of what marriage looked like, but not just the happy times, but how they dealt with conflict, good and bad. And they're able to pattern myself through my own way, right? And find my own space with my own wife on how we need to pattern our relationship.
Right.
The problem is, fam, is that when you have relationship goals, and some people look at us and say, oh, I'm Rio, Mika, that's relationship goals. I want that. But you don't know what it took to get here. What we're trying to do is tell you what it took to get to this place. And then where are we going from here? And then what have we learned? So I think when you listen to people that give advice, one, I think you need to have somebody who's tested, who's actually done what they're talking about. I think that's important. They have some real experience behind it. And then two, not that you don't have to be booed up. You don't. That's another word I don't like. You ain't got to be booed up. You know what I mean? You give sound advice. You know what I mean? You ain't got to be booed up necessarily. But I do think there's a lot of value in dealing with people, especially as a single person, and people who've dealt with every stage of what you're going through, and now they're actually successful in where you're trying to go. That's invaluable, right? So you can't get your advice from just somebody on the internet when they're not really bringing you backstage into like the X's and O's of what went into that relationship. You can't do that, in my opinion. You can't do it.
I agree 100% what you're saying, because I'll share this. I don't think they mind me sharing this. Say, for example, okay, my dad just recently had surgery. Okay. And I remember I got a text from my mom saying, I'm taking your dad for a walk. And I'm like, and that, even though that was just one sentence long, and I know it don't mean much to say, hey, this is what's going on, but they made me think, that's what real relationships is all about. Because here it is, my father just went under the knife and is healing, and my mom is taking him for a walk, making sure that he's doing fine. So that makes me think, this is what marriage is really all about.
Oh, yeah.
Because even though a lot of people see the glitz and the glamour of what a relationship is and what couples goals is per se, but they don't talk about But most people don't talk about, hey, I'm holding him down while he's recovering, or I'm holding him down when this is happening. Because of what I find a lot of times, and correct me if I'm wrong, what I find a lot of times is you meet women who are already established. Let's say, for instance, I'm here, okay? And the woman that I meet is here, right? The woman here is not waiting for me to get to here, because she's not coming down just to meet my standards. She already met her standards. And a lot of women now are not waiting for him to come up there, even though he has potential. Do you agree with that or disagree?
That's another big one. I think that one, for a man, and you said something that was key. For a man, we have been told that what we have, especially as black men, isn't as valuable as other things other people have. We don't, like, our value somehow isn't on the level of other people who went to college or they got there or at a certain place in their career. So I think we sometimes sit in a position of looking up. And the thing that I don't want to get from Kevin Samuels either is that he has to degrade women to make them feel less than, to be on the same playing field with a man that's more suitable for them. I think that both partners, the woman has to see value in a man. She has to see value. She has to say, you know what, I value myself, I value where I'm at, but I also value this man. Not just because of his potential, but from what I see him doing. Like, I really believe in this person. And when she can see a man like that, you guys can start establishing a healthy relationship, but it can't be, I'm coming from here, you're down here, and now I feel like I'm settling. That's unequally yoked. And you don't want to, that relationship isn't going to work anyway. But what I love about what your mom said and what you said about their relationship, isn't that what we really want? We got to get out the mindset of relationship goals, internet relationships, taking pictures and getting likes and hashtags. We got to think about something deeper than that. Me and my wife, we're all about our relationship breaking the four walls of just our house. How do we impact our community? How do we impact generations? How do we build a foundation for more than just ourselves? That's a relationship. You know what I mean? Like we got to get out of this superficial, egotistical stuff, fam. And I think that when people think about relationships, you said it, to your point, a lot of people are thinking about, what am I going to get from you? What are you bringing to me? And a lot of people don't think about, what am I bringing to you? This is what I have, and this is what I want to give you. They don't think about that. It's always, feed me more, give me more, make me better. What are you going to do to make me? What are you going to do? What are you going to give me to make me a better man? What do you bring to the table? And vice versa. So I think that we got to change the way we look at love and relationships, especially in our community. We have to.
Listen, man, we can go on and on and on and on and on and on and on.
No doubt.
But we have to hunk it off here. So let me ask this question. What is your advice to people who are looking for examples for their relationship? Like, the right thing to do, not necessarily look at couples or couples goals, because I'll be honest with you, a lot of these celebrities that we see and look at couples goals, I mean, come on, Jada Pinkett Smith had an entanglement. Let her say it.
Right.
I mean, first and foremost, you dating August Alsina, and August Alsina thought you was gonna leave Will for you. Nah, there's only so many men better than Will. You ain't one of them. She ain't coming down for you. Okay, there's only a few men that's better than Will.
Right.
You ain't one of them. Sorry.
Reality check.
Yeah, for real. But anyway, but for real, what is your advice to people who are looking for examples as far as how a relationship should be conducted?
You know, I'm going to say for sure, first thing to do is check the fruits of the relationship, right? Like, check the fruits of it is real important, because people can say one thing, but you can always really see it in the actions, in the energy, and what they're actually producing. You can always really tell if somebody's producing good fruit or bad fruit. I would say first to do that. So as far as good examples are concerned, you know, find people that are also passionate about more than just customers. Like, for me, relationships are important to me, because I know how important it is to our community. I know how important love is to the children and to our future generations. That's my passion behind what we're doing with Power Mates. If you want a relationship like that, then follow people who are in that same vein and follow the people who are already leading in that space and say, you know what, I want a relationship like that. And I want to pattern myself, or at least kind of find my way behind what they've done, so I don't have to make the mistakes that they made. Follow people like that. And definitely follow people that are local to you. Follow people that you can go and see every single day. Follow people that you can respect. Like, look locally. If you're in Dallas, find good people in Dallas. There's a lot of great relationships. It's okay to be single and ask questions. Married people love to talk about their relationships. Surprise.
Of course.
We love giving advice. So, you know what I mean? So make sure you connect with people like that. If that's in the church or wherever you want to be, get real life examples and real life advice of what that is. And lastly, educate yourself on relationships. Educate, read a book on relationships, conflict resolution, communication, finances. Educate yourself. Because you know what? Relationships, people go to university and go get degrees, but they don't get degrees in relationships. And it's the most important decision you're going to make. It's who you're going to spend your time with and your life with. So you should educate yourself, fam. So those are my things I think everybody should be doing if they want to have a healthy, sustainable relationship for real.
Thank you. I agree 100%. And there's a lot of books out there. Trust me. I've read a couple of them, and one of them was called Dating with Boundaries. I can't recall who the author is, but that is a good book to read. But even though that's a shameless plug right there. But also, let's go ahead and hump this off right here. Rio, thank you for coming. We gonna kick this again.
No doubt.
Trust me, we're going to kick this again. But ladies and gentlemen, thank you for tuning in. Even though Kay is not here, you just listen to Two Dope Boyz from Dallas, and you just now tuning in to the late Kay and Manny. Make sure you follow us on Instagram, Facebook, and Twitter, The Lady K Chat Podcast. And make sure you check out our website, LadyKEnterprisesinc.com. Okay? Again, that's www.LadyKEnterprisesinc.com. Rio, do you want to plug anything?
Yo, PowerMates, PowerMates.io. We talked about doing the work. Go to the website. We have our books. We have a PowerMate quiz to make sure you're matching with the right type of person and not wasting your time in relationships. Go to PowerMates.io. All our resources are there. And yeah, let's do this the right way.
Yeah. But anyway, y'all, that's our show for today. Make sure you tune in next week. Make sure you understand that, hey, we're here for you.
No doubt.
We are. Anyway, thank you for tuning in, ladies and gentlemen. Have a good day.
Peace.
Lady K.